Hey everyone, it's me, Ian from the Postal Hub podcast,
And Marek from Last Mile
and
Experts.
we are the Last Mile Prophets. And today we're going to dissect the burning topic: is the traditional retail mall dead? What's going to happen, Marek? We've seen some interesting news about how shoppers are returning to the retail space in China, and you've got some observations from what's
Or
happening
not,
or
as the
not.
case may be. Well, I think this is what got us talking, that we saw that in China it isn't working. And very recently, Poland has started reopening, to be fair, certain parts of shopping malls. So cinemas are still closed,
Mhm.
but shops can be open. And they're empty.
But is it because people are afraid of going back, do you think? Is it just purely, I don't want to be around other people, I'm not sure if they're contagious and all of that?
Well, I think, you know what, Ian, there are probably going to be two effects. One is the e-commerce boom effect, which is that some people are just going to say, hold on a minute, it's a lot more convenient, I'll just click. So I think there will be that effect. There's going to be an effect related to fear, but I think that will go sooner or later.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, is that sooner or later the fear will go. And it comes back to what we've discussed previously about people getting a taste of e-commerce and then saying, well, hang on, it's easier for me to shop at home, or for many things. There's still the question about how people will shop for clothes and things like that.
But I reckon really the way we could look at it is take two scenarios. So scenario one is the bad scenario for the mouse, which would effectively be, look, trends will change, buying patterns will change. They are irrelevant as they have been in the past.
Mm.
Or plan B is no, people do start filtering back, things go back to normal. My view, honestly, I don't know about you, Ian, but the best case is going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I don't. Not that the normal that we used to know is not likely to come back, and there are a whole range of implications in terms of retail rents in malls, all those sorts of things. But we might not focus on that. I guess let's talk about what this means from a delivery perspective, though.
Should we do a McKinsey and talk about what could be the most amazing type of things that will happen, the out of the box stuff to get the discussion going?
Sure, and then we'll charge McKinsey rates afterwards. Go on.
Well, I mean, because the sort of stuff that I could imagine is on one hand, and be careful because the D word is going to come up at some stage. So, bzzz, you know what I'm thinking.
Oh gosh,
Uh,
then right.
so, but probably step one could be that some of the outlets actually use the facilities in a mall to become a sort of a place we can try things on
It becomes
clothes. You mentioned clothes.
they call it showrooming, right? And
Exactly.
there have been shops that have been doing that for a while, where you just go in, you see, for example, a shoe shop, and you will see all the different styles of shoes, and you just say, "This is my shoe size. This is what I want to try," and they deliver it to you at home.
Absolutely.
So
So,
it's a
you get the right
showroom
one.
rather than an actual shop in that respect. It's purely about display,
So that
which will make it interesting for retail shopping centres where the rent is a factor of turnover and things like that. Anyway, but that's another story
well,
altogether. I think that's an interesting idea that we could see more of the showrooming style. The question is going to be how do people get people into the shopping centre to look at things. But anyway, that's not our
but you know
problem.
what, Ian? You will have restaurants and you will have cinemas at some stage. So people will be coming there, and at the same
Yeah.
time in the showroom, they click. And I think one of the things going to be instant gratification. So if I know that I click and actually same day I get it at home, it's actually even more convenient sometimes than buying it at the store because I don't have to carry shopping bags with hundreds of items.
But are these going to be fulfilled out of the store in the shopping centre, or would it be because there's this other question about where fulfilment centres are located and all of that, right?
But that's great that you mentioned that because the second thing is the dark store,
Yeah, which
which
we've
was
already seen,
invented
haven't we?
by who invented the dark store?
Darth Vader.
Tesco.
I was
So,
close. Uh,
I think there could be dark stores where in a shopping mall, particularly in the sort of back office
well,
areas.
that's what I was going to say. It's because there's this issue of okay, if it's got a loading dock, let's say it's a supermarket. We've seen some supermarket chains have said, right, we're going to close down certain supermarkets to the public and set them up as a dark store, effectively. Now they've got a loading dock and they're able to run all of this. But you think about some of the smaller retailers in a shopping centre, they might not be able to have the same sort of volume going through a loading dock and all those sorts of things. So
Having said that, I agree. So the dark store would typically be, let's say, I don't know, my local shopping mall. I have a large grocery retailer, and I think they've probably got about 10% of the space of the whole mall. So that could be the dark store, and they could have access to a large part of the ramp, and a smaller part serves the rest of the businesses. I mean, if we do a real McKinsey now, one of the things that could theoretically happen, and this is the one you're going to love, is these places have huge roofs. One of the problems with drones is, where do you land them safely? So imagine you have a drone port on the roof of this place. So
I will concede that you could have a drone port on top of the shopping centre, but it also speaks to a bigger question here, which is around infrastructure. If we've already got the loading dock, which is aimed at semi-trailers, do you have a dispatch part of a shopping centre? Maybe not airborne drones, but if it's somewhere where delivery vans can pull up, or where gig economy drivers can pick up their orders.
remember, Ian, if they suddenly have half the visitors they've had before, they've got huge car park areas that are empty, sometimes outside, sometimes inside and covered.
Speaking of that, does this mean that there could be a greater push also for a contactless click and collect via parcel lockers in the car park?
Well, yeah, they could be that, or the more traditional version of drive-through. You order something, you drive through the car park, and there's the manual version. I mean, there's a lot of ideas there. And I think one we didn't mention is urban consolidation centres. So, local authorities could come to the rescue and say, look, we'll take part of your space, and we will force couriers and others to use this point to consolidate orders so you don't have several trucks.
So there's the retail space, which could be transformed. There's the car park, and there's the roof. So there's all these parts of it, and if they're usually located, if you think about lots of shopping centres, they might be located near, either in a central area near a major arterial, so they can somehow form these, become a de facto distribution hub, can't they?
Absolutely. I think this is why I said this is very futuristic. Is there are a lot of things we still don't know, but actually, you know what? 5 years' time, some of the things we're laughing at today could turn out to actually be the way it goes. Not for all shopping centres, but maybe for some of the ones who are suffering and are in well-placed urban areas.
So if you're a member of the Lowy family and you want to comment, just comment below. What will Westfield be doing in the future when it comes to shopping malls? Delivery professionals, e-commerce people, we want to hear. What do you reckon is going to happen? Dark stores, local distribution hubs, drones.
Oh, you said it. My God.
Well, look, I'll throw it out there just in case. I mean, just in case somebody's come up with a really great way that could actually work, or various other things. How are we going to transform the retail shopping mall, or should we just let them die and let nature take over these abandoned shopping centres? Or should we bulldoze them and set up giant distribution centres? Just get rid of them altogether. Comment below. Love to hear your comments. Marek Krzyzewski from Last Mile Experts, thanks for being part of this today.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, everyone. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed this episode of The Last Mile Profits.
Make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button and also the notifications bell so you get a notification every time we add a new video to this channel. Look forward to sharing more stuff with you on The Last Mile Profits.